Hello and welcome to DigiLogs. Now we will learn how to digitize Dipmeter data on DigiLogs. First, we toggle on Dipmeter mode and file and define a new well. Press new well, well 2, and the mandatory fields here is the log image. Then insert well. Now well 2 is ready. Press OK. The default scale of Dipmeter is the tangential scale, like this example. Although we have another type of scale, we will see it later, which is linear non-equidistant scale. But now let's start with the tangential scale. Define here the minimum depth to start and press calibrate 1. And by default the maximum value is 90 degree, of course. Press calibrate 2 and select the bottom depth. Type depth here and the maximum scale here. Now the tangential scale has been drawn correctly here. We can toggle off the grids and we can start digitize each tadpole by pressing 2 clicks. The first one is the center of the circle here, and the second one point to the azimuth. We can enlarge the circle size and make it smaller by pressing plus and minus on the keyboard. Another one, we can change the depth quality from here, 1 for excellent, 2 for good, and that will be empty circle, 3 for fair, 4 for poor. Okay, let's assume that's a poor tadpole here. The circle is empty circle. We can move the circle center by pressing W up and S down, D right, A left, until we get exact match on the location of the center of the tadpole and point it to the azimuth. Also the same thing for changing the azimuth by keyboard shortcut. We can press delete key for deleting the tadpole, and so on until we finish all the tadpoles. Once we finished, press finish interval to go through the next interval. When you finish the entire log, we can export the digitized data from File, Export As. We have two options for quality format, which is numbers or letters. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, or letters E, G, F, P. That depends on your software we will import this data. Format will be LAS file or ASCII file. The LAS will contain all the LAS header, while ASCII will contain first row describing the header of the data, which is measure depth, inclination, azimuth, and depth quality. Export, save, done. And that's the exported data. Just add the extension you desire, like text, and that is exported data. The other type of scale here in this example, if we look at this scale, we have three groups of angles from 0 to 20, the same length, from 20 to 60 is the second group, and from 60 to 90 is the third group. So how can we do that? We will type the start depths here, point as the maximum, and bottom depths here, and the maximum scale. As we can see, the default tangential scale doesn't match that type of scale. We can resolve this by defining internal grids. Here we can specify the limit of each group of scale. This is 20 degree here and 60 degree here. Now the scale will be correct and begin to digitize the tadpoles as I mentioned before. Press finish interval, and you can continue digitize the previous interval or correct any mistake you have done from previous intervals by edit mode. Press edit and edit mode. First we press click to activate the calibrated interval we want to edit. Then we have here delete tadpole. Click at the center of the circle and it will be deleted. This icon to draw another one and draw another one here. And if you want to insert another calibration above the current one, we can right click and insert calibration above. Just we will adjust the points, the calibration points, and calibration values. And begin to digitize. Once I finished, just press save edit.